Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another chat session on Pearls with Eno. Good to see you all. How have we been? How's the weekend been? So, like we know, it's a live session, but we're going to make it as interactive as possible. So, whatever emojis we like to use, just put them on the chat. For those using Zoom, you chat with us on Zoom. And then for those using YouTube, you are free to type. And what will happen is when we start the discussion on the way, if you have questions, you're free to type in your questions and then we'll address your questions. So today is a very special day. I have a special guest, but I'm having a co-host today. I have not done that, and she's my Jola. She was a guest speaker during the last session, but today she'll be co-hosting with me. So Jola, say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so we've been talking about beyond expectation, and we've been also talking about the theme on identity crisis. And like we know, identity crisis goes through different phases of life. Like at different points in our life, we always ask ourselves that question, who am I? Maybe you can be going through a particular challenge at a certain point, and at that point, you just have to just reflect and start asking yourself, wait, really, who am I? You maybe find yourself with a certain group of people that you know are not are not supposed to be in your circle. So there's that point of reflection that you get to where you ask yourself, really, who am I? Am I supposed to be in this circle? And that is why we took that thing, identity crisis. So we need to know who we are. And from previous editions, we've known that, okay, your identity can come based on your birth. Like there are some identity that you cannot control, some part of your identity, like the family you're born into, you have no control over that. Like your color, your skin color, your race, your religion. We are born into families, and if you're from a Christian home, automatically you're a Christian. So yeah, so those are things that we don't really have much control over. But then there's another part in our identity or things we pass through that are based on like our expectations or in life. There are certain things you expect, but don't turn out the way you want. We have control to a certain extent in that aspect. So last week we spoke to teenagers, we spoke to young adults, and we are continuing this week. We have a very special guest. He's a young adult. His name is Adekunle, and he's a student of University of Science and Technology in Port Harcourt. So Niyi will be speaking with us today, and he's going to introduce himself to us. So who allow me to speak, then Jola and I will continue the discussion. So Niyi, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm happy to be here with you guys. I'm Adekunle. I'm from Osun State, and I stay in Rivers State, actually. And I also school in Rivers State. I'm a student of Rivers State University, actually. And marine engineering. I'm an engineering student, and I'm in 300 level. So that's basically everything you can know about me for now.
Okay, and me is also a volunteer.
Yes, I'm also a volunteer on the Pearls with Eno. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Jola, can you welcome me?
Okay, welcome me. It's good to have you on our show today.
Thank you very much, Jola, and I'm happy to be here.
Okay, so I'll just ask you the first question. I trust you already know the series. You know what we've been talking about, and beyond expectation. And so would you like to share, is there any experience that you've had, either good or pleasant or unpleasant, with regards to beyond expectation?
Okay, so let me start with school. We are all students actually at this age, so everyone is learning. So I'll start from when I was leaving secondary school. Um, I left secondary school quite early, before SS3, and that was a very big decision for me. I was in SS2. I was also given the head boy of my school. I was a senior prefect while in SS2. So I actually was a prefect ahead of my seniors. So while senior WIC was coming, I was given the opportunity to write the senior WIC, to participate in it. Then I didn't want to leave because I was having the prefectship in school, and they all keep you in school and make school lively. So then I was like, leaving school now would be very bad for me. I wouldn't want to, but my parents insisted that I should try it. And okay, I went ahead, I tried, I came out with the very good results, all passed. I also participated in the jam. I went, I wrote the jam, I scored about 270 something, which was very high, which was up to my standard. I was happy because I was making the pass, but I didn't want to leave school at the same time. But I had no option because I was doing well, and the school I chose was around area, and I met the recommendations. But where it comes in was that I didn't want to school in Nigeria. That was the first mistake. I like
Any
some
reason?
not like a mistake. Yeah, I'll give the reason. Not like a mistake actually, but I didn't want to school in Nigeria. But my parents supported me with that decision. But as time went on, I was receiving some advices from different people. My mom advised me. My reason was because I felt university in Nigeria was so difficult because I don't know, I just felt I had that feeling that way that it was difficult. I didn't want to school in Nigeria. I want to go outside with my friends. School will be free. You understand? There's this kind of life you live outside. You'll be far, very far away from home. Yeah, that kind of feeling. So, but I got advices from my mom. She said schooling in Nigeria will make you strong. That was one thing she kept on saying. You will not be a stranger to your country. Understand? The moment you leave at that, and I was very young at then, I left at 16 years secondary school, and I left secondary school at 16 years, and you can imagine going outside the country without your parents at 16 years to do university very far, and coming back, you will not be used to the system anymore. You will not be able to familiarize with everyone. So I said, okay. My dad actually wanted me to leave, but my mom gave me that advice. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And then I applied to University of Science and Technology. That's my school, River State University, because they were the out of all the universities in Nigeria, only three universities had my course, marine engineering. That was also one of the reasons I didn't want to school in Nigeria. And those three universities now, when I saw them on the list, I was not happy at all. One, it was River State University, which was very close to where I stay. So I was like, okay, it's close. Then the next was Bayelsa State, and I wasn't too impressed because I heard a lot of things about Bayelsa, that area. So I didn't want to. And the last one was that should be Akwa Ibom. Yeah, that should be Akwa Ibom. Those were the only three universities that had my course, which was marine engineering. So before choosing marine engineering, I had two courses too, which was nautical science and the marine engineering. I had to choose between one because my dad did nautical science, so I wanted to like follow his footsteps and get more advice from him. So he gave me his own word of advice that actually life is up to you at this certain point. You make your decisions because you don't want when your parents make a decision and you regret and you be like, oh, had it been, and you stop listening to them, it affects the child at that stage. So he gave me the permission to choose the school I want and make wise decision. And I should also put it like in prayers. It was very
Okay, so hold
important.
on. We'll ask you another question.
Okay.
So why did you choose marine engineering?
Because I said before I wanted to like follow my dad's footsteps, which was nautical science. But I was like, nautical science, following him back to back. Now I want to be better than him. So I said, what's close to that side of study, which was marine engineering, be doing engineering and also working in the sea. Nautical science is like also working in the sea. You get to know different people, like you get to travel by sea, be a captain. Actually, you become a captain, but being a marine engineer is still the same thing, but you be an engineer on the boat. Why the captain is just there. Yes. So that's one of the reasons.
Okay. So, but was there any point where maybe you saw a lot of your friends doing like some other courses and you asked yourself that question, like, is this what I really want? Or seeing young people doing things and getting fast with their life and you're like, man, things are happening for these guys. This course, let me think about it again.
A time came like that actually. For example, medicine and law. I had two of my friends that left school with me quite early, to that chose those courses, and I with medicine too. So I was like, these courses are very nice courses. I can go to medicine, law, and one of them, like they were nice courses. But when that was happening, I also looked at my study in school, my results, past results. So I was actually a science student, and I was very good in science. So when I looked at law, I wasn't wanted to study law because I had an uncle who did law and was very perfect in it, and he's doing very well. So he was like an influence too to me. But when I looked at what I'm doing, I'm good at science. That changed my mind. I also had some friends who were doing very well in medicine, because if you have kind of like if you're kind of wealthy and you go into medicine, you have a lot of support from your parents. Like you can help you when you're out. Why I didn't go there too was not because of the money or something, but if you look at the amount, the length of study for medicine, no, I wasn't ready. I
I
wanted
don't
to
have
come
that
out.
patience either. I
Yeah,
don't.
no.
I ran.
I really wanted to come out early, as entering school early, and make things quite easy. So that was how it went. So, and also I went to prayers, serious prayers in the marine engineering. I was like, God, do you want me to read marine engineering or nautical science? And actually he revealed to me marine engineering, because how I knew was that okay, I put it to a test. I was actually browsing. So there's something I said in one of my recommendations, and it didn't fall under nautical science. It actually fell under marine engineering. So I felt, oh, okay, God has answered my prayers, because I actually fasted, I prayed for that to come true. So that's how one of the main reasons I went for that.
So, but how have you been able to thrive now? Like, what are the benefits of you studying in Nigeria now? Like, what have you gained?
Yes. Now you asked a question about the positive and the negative impact of decisions I've made. Yes. So now I didn't choose. Okay, I didn't want to school in Nigeria, but I'm schooling in Nigeria now, and I'm 300 level. If I had school outside the country, I'm sure by now I should be rounding up coming back home. That's an advantage, yes. But if you look at the things that have happened, especially where I wanted to go and school was not actually like a very good area. They were having some difficulties in education. So that was also like an advantage to me right now. And right now, if you can look at it with all the pandemic, the corona and all, if I was schooling outside the country, how will I come back home to Nigeria? If there was an earthquake, and outside the country, a lot of disasters happen, increase in currency change and all those things, it affects our fellow Nigerians outside the country very well. Racism, you can look at what's happening now, and racism too. So schooling in Nigeria was like an advantage too to me in several ways. I don't live in River State. I live in River State actually. I don't live in Port Harcourt where I school, but I live in Bonny Island. So schooling in Port Harcourt was like schooling in Port Harcourt is actually tough, because I get to know the environment. I communicated the environment. I stay close to the hostel. I had to see how life actually was in Nigeria. Even while as parents, you notice that when you're living, like the life people struggle outside, it's real. It happens